Chile and Japan, folks. Chile's first ever Rugby World Cup game. Welcome to the club, I guess. Chile, good to have you guys along. Even if you did lose 42 points to 12 to Japan. We're going to some key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. I've watched this one much delayed just because of the time differences here in NZ. I ended up watching this one last, even if it was the first game on of the day. Seemed pretty hot, as all the games have in France, so there was a little bit of handling errors at times, but we also saw some great tries, man. And the great thing about this Chilean side is they like to play some fun rugby. I think we kind of got what the doctor ordered, or like what we predicted would happen, but Japan did maul it more than I think I've seen them maul it in many years. Perhaps they were looking to use a bit of that kind of professional, more experienced edged over their Chilean counterparts. But yeah, we'll go through them. So, I mean, Japan, early kick out on the full through Naikabula. He's not in the team for his kicking. And the Chilean fans loved it. I feel like the neutral fans loved it. Everyone was getting behind this underdog Chilean side. But Japan was able to disrupt the Chilean line-out. And the line-out proved to be a bit of a problem for the Chileans in this one. And often the set piece, you know, when you get more experienced teams who play a higher general level of rugby, like the Japanese guys have been playing tier 1 teams for the last 3 years, you know, compared to Chile's games, the build-up's not the same. So, yeah, that's often the difference. And the line-out proved to be a bit of a tough one. But Japan, from their line-out steal, ended up coughing the ball up anyway. So nothing really came of it directly. And if anything, the coughing up of the ball led to Chile's first try. That man, Rodrigo Fernandez, he's quick. And he's an excitement machine player. He's maybe not surprising that he got the first try. I had Fakatava picked as getting the first try, but he was second. So I was close. But yeah, loose ball. Ayaza, the fullback, had a big line break. There was a bit of loose ball from a grubber through. They had to check if it was back from a Japanese hand or forward off a Chilean hand, but it was back from the Japanese. So try time Chile, 7-0. Crowd goes bananas. Love it. Crowd is really getting behind the underdog. Pleasing to see. But Chile mucked the restart. And that's not just a Chile thing. We've seen teams who play in the Six Nations, Rugby Championship and whatnot. We've seen these teams having constant problems of not being safe to gather the ball and exit cleanly. Conceding points from the restart, it's a brutal one, and they did it pretty much straight away. They knocked the ball on from the restart, they conceded an advantage, and then there's a big run from Fakatava, who's able to power over for the first try for Japan of the game. So all of a sudden, the lead is gone, and it's 7-0. Chile, though, man, with their line breaks, Saverda, the midfielder, got one. I remember the other Saverda in the team, I think it's the lock. He managed to get one as well. No, he got a penalty at the breakdown not too long later. And it was, though, interesting from a Japanese point of view, that they didn't want to go for threes. We've seen in a few of the games this World Cup thus far, early on in the games, we've seen teams take 3 points against their more lowly ranked opposition, not Japan. From the get-go, they wanted to get tries. And I guess they're looking at this pool thinking points difference and bonus points are maybe going to be a factor. So Japan not opting for threes. They go for touch at 19 minutes. They maul it. And as I said, that's a bit unusual for them. It's not usually a Japanese tactic. The Chilean defense held. Ditas, the prop for Chile, got pinged for a late tackle on Gu, the Japanese prop. Going for his legs a bit off the ball, which was not great. And they had to stop for a wee while to check that Gu's legs were alright, but he did continue on to play the same amount of game time as as Inagaki, the other prop. So he must have been alright because they subbed him at the normal time. And then he gets yellow carded for that detail. So can Japan punish her in the yellow card? Yes, they can. Nakamura, a big carry from behind, a big Japanese scrum. 14-7, they take the lead. They're not going to relinquish the lead for the rest of the game. Leitch had some big involvements, man. He gets a turnover, a line-out steal. He's disrupting the Chilean play, although as they're under pressure, the Chilean fullback, Ayarza, he manages to win the turnover as well. And then another yellow card for Chile when Sigrid has a head-on-head against Matsushima. So yeah, yellow card, and Japan punish it. Once again, it's Fakatava, peels off a maul. again, Japanese maul, not really a thing, but they did it a lot in this game. So 21-7 at halftime. The head-on-head clashes are an interesting one because there's been a few of them this weekend, and I guess they're all individual cases, but at the moment it's a little bit of an interesting one. Are you going to get penalised for it? Are you going to get yellow carded and reviewed? Are you going to get red carded for it? So yeah, as I said, it's case-by-case basis, but I can feel that's going to be an ongoing theme of the World Cup. So Japan have had less ball at halftime, 44%, but they've had more territory, 78%. They certainly dominated the kick meters of this game. But Chile just love to run it, and I'm a fan. Second half, Torrebella, the halfback for Chile, he loves a snipe. They're still looking to play from everywhere. They end up knocking it on, but then Riley gets a yellow card, so it's turn for Japan to play with 14 men when he's got a deliberate knock on, as Chile are looking to go wide. Can Chile punish during the yellow card? Yes, they can. The fullback, Ayarza, went close. Goodness me, the wind outside is strong here in Auckland. He went close after a Chilean maul, and then it was Alfonso Escobar with the pick and go. So, yeah, man, they punished the yellow card. They missed the conversion, but 21-12. 21-12 is still not game over. You're still in it. Score next. Make things very interesting, but nah, that was the end of the scoring for the Chileans, sadly. But for Japan, man, they hit back during the yellow card, which is a bit of a testament to their kind of mental strength, that they were able to not feel the pressure. They actually rallied under the pressure. So Naikabula with a line break, Leitch with a finish from close range, 28-12. Great to see the veteran go over. Chile did win a turnover at the breakdown, but then their line out would let them down from the resulting kick for touch. Then Japan would concede a penalty. So another Chilean line-out chance, and Leitch stole that one. So, yeah, couldn't really get in the momentum. Japan was stopping them at every turn. And then Nakamura got one from an attacking Japanese scrum. That was 35-12, and it's really starting to look like a bashing at this point. And then Japan almost scored what would have been the tries of the tournament when, was it Horie with like the chicken wing offload. One of the guys did a through the legs pass, and then there was a cross kick, but it just went into touch before Matsushima could grab it. That would have been a fantastic try, but not to be. They still did get ones from Derns from close range, right at the death. It wasn't quite as flash as the one that we could have seen, but 42-12. Ends up being a big scoreline. It's a big bonus point win for Japan. It's what they would have wanted going into this game. And, yeah, I mean, it's just great to see Chile at the World Cup. They've still got more games to go, and they're going to enjoy every minute of it. Run meters finished 311 to 374. That's what I mean about Chile loving to run the ball. They had 56% possession, but only 34% territory. They're not here just to kick. Their kick meters was 417, whereas Japan are more like standard 696. So, yeah, Japan putting a bit more boot to ball. And their line-out was better, 13 from 14, whereas Chile's was 12 from 17. A few missed opportunities there from Chile. You feel like when they had chances to get themselves on the front foot, it didn't quite work out. Clean breaks is 7-7. Defenders beaten is 27-20. So Chile loves to run it. That's in Chile's favour. Turnovers conceded 17-16. With Japan having one more, it's a little bit high for both sides. Maybe could bring it down a touch. But Chile made Japan make 151 tackles to Chile's 101. So that's what I mean. They had more possession. They were running it. I mentioned the Japanese maul. They mauled it 6 times. 6 times doesn't seem that much. It's a little bit high. But what I mean is in like 2021, I think Japan played like 5 or 6 games. They played the Lions. They played Ireland. They didn't maul it 6 times in that entire year. Against Uruguay, they've mauled it like 5 times in 2022. This year, they haven't mauled it 6 times in their 4 lead-up games, the 3 Pacific Nations Cup games, and the game against Italy. They haven't mauled it 6 times. So to maul it 6 times in one game for Japan is uncharacteristic. I don't know if we will see them do that against teams like England, who they've got next. I feel like they will opt for a different style, but we will see. Individuals, Fakatava, 2 tries, 26 meters, 2 clean breaks, 2 defenders beaten, 16 from 17 tackles. Heck of a shift. The wingers had 40-plus meters each. Michael Leitch was very disruptive, turnovers and line-out steals and whatnot for sure. Ayarza, the fullback, 66 meters, 2 clean breaks, 6 defenders beaten. Dangerous. Big guy as well. And then Martinez, the flanker, 11 from 12 tackles. Torrealba, the halfback, 59 meters, 3 defenders beaten. Loves a wee snipe, kicks a bit of ball. Yeah, interesting times. Interesting times. If you want gear from either of these nations, Lovell Rugby sells rugby gear. They have Japan jerseys. They have Chile jerseys. Link down in the description. Check out Lovell. They're an affiliate of the channel. They've got lots of selections. Japan has got England next, which will be an interesting test because Japan's attack will look to do more than what we saw from Argentina the other day. And then Chile have got Samoa, who will be coming off their first... Well, this will be their first game. So Samoa may have a little bit of rust. But remember that Samoa beat Japan recently in a Pacific Nations Cup game. So we may expect a similar scoreline. Who knows? We'll wait and see. Subscribe to the channel, folks. Talk to you guys again soon. See you later.